to order the November 14th, 2018 Board of Trustees meeting for Pasadena City College. And let's start with the roll call.
Dr. Fellow, Mr. Osterling,
Here.
Mr. Hilsman,
Here.
Ms. Brown,
Here.
Ms. Chanlao,
Here.
Mr. Martin, Ms. Wah,
Here.
Ms. Rod.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comment on closed session agenda items?
Seeing none.
Okay, we are going to retire to a closed session where we will discuss Government Code Section 54957, evaluation of employee superintendent president. History lesson courtesy of Doc Martin originated out of Armistice Day, which was the end of World War I, or as it was called, the War to End All Wars, the Great War. And so this is the 100th anniversary of the War to End All Wars, and I thought I would start out by acknowledging any veterans that we have in the room today with a show of hands, please. Tito, raise your hand, please, and come up here. We're going to have you lead us in the pledge, sir.
So, hand over your heart, and ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on. Is there any request to reorder any agenda items for tonight's agenda? If so, motion to approve the agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pardon me, student trustee, excuse me. I'm new at this, C-Rad. Next, we're going to go to introductions and recognitions. Dr. Verdian.
Well, we do have, would like to introduce our new Vice President for Human Resources, Mr. Robert Bob Blazinski, and welcome to Pasadena City College. We wish you plenty of success at the college. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and welcome. Next, are there any public comments on non-agenda items?
There are none.
Okay, moving on. Next, we're going to approve the minutes. We have several to approve here, and we're going to start with the regular business meeting that we had on October 17th. That's our meeting number 4. And those minutes are revised. Do we hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Student vote, pardon me. I'll get this right, Z-Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And the next set of minutes that we're going to approve was special meeting number 5, which was held on November 3rd, 2018. Student trustee, were you at that meeting?
Oh, November, which date?
No. Okay. So, so motion to approve.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And lastly, the special meeting number 6, which was held on November 4th, 2018, and I believe the student trustee was not at that meeting either. Do I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we're now going to move to the consent items, item D on the agenda, and this is consent items students.
Move approval.
Second.
Student trustee,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to consent item E on the agenda, consent items for instruction. Do I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Student trustee,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to agenda item F, consent items for business. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Student trustee,
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we go to calendar item G, which is consent items for personnel. And do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Student trustee.
I don't,
Oh, pardon me, this is personnel, excuse me. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We're now going to go to action items. This is section H of the calendar, and these are action items recommended for approval. And we will start with item number 1. This is dual enrollment memorandum with Temple City Unified School District. Dr. Verdian.
Members of the board, at the last meeting, you had an opportunity to review the MOU that we will be signing pending your approval with the Temple City Unified School District, so that the students of Temple Unified School District can be dually enrolled in classes at Pasadena City College that will be part of a Pathways program for them to graduate at a faster rate and at the same time earning college credits while they are in high school. This MOU is very similar to the one that we signed with the Pasadena Unified School District a couple of months ago.
Okay. Any discussion? Trustee Wah.
So, Dr. Rudian, are there particular classes or pathways that Temple City has asked for under this MOU?
Dr. Junie, do you know of anything special?
So the idea of the MOU is not to set what the classes are at this point. This is to set an agreement so that we can do that. And we are working with them in regard to identifying the courses that we will start offering there, starting in the spring. And just to add to what Dr. Verdian said, the Temple City Board is also having the second read of this tonight too. So hopefully both boards will approve it.
Thank you very much. Yes, since we finished elections, they have some new board members. Some of them will overlap a little bit with San Marino. So interested to see what they are looking at, since we have, I think, encouraged them to look at a very progressive curriculum for the students. And since 3 of the trustees at this board represent Temple City, it'll be great to be informed when you do come to that decision.
If it's appropriate, I'd move approval.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Student trustee.
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're on to item H, action item number 2. This is the authorization to transmit first quarterly financial status report. Dr. Verdian.
Well, members of the board, last week, Dr. Richard Stoughty shared with you, not with all of you, but with members of the Budget and Audit Subcommittee, a copy of what will be transmitted to the State Chancellor's Office. And I'm going to ask Dr. Stoughty to add anything to that.
This is the first quarter report, and we're required to get board approval to submit it to the state. And basically, first quarter, everything's in line with the budget that was adopted in September, so there's no surprises. The district's financial position is healthy and continuing as planned.
Move approval.
Second.
Trustee.
aye.
Okay, student trustee, pardon me. Trustees, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously with 1 absentee. On to item number 3. This is approval of additions, deletions, and modifications to the credit curriculum. Dr. Verdian.
Dr. Junie, is there anything particular in this item that you would want to highlight for the board?
Most of this are just typical modifications to update course curriculum, and so nothing surprising there. The one that I want to call to your attention, though, is that this includes a new program for social sciences, which is an AAT in philosophy. So it will add another ADT to what's available to our students.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Student trustee.
Aye.
Trustees, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously with 1 absent. And that concludes the action items for the evening, and we're going to move on to information items, and that would be our Superintendent President's report. Dr. Verdian.
Members of the board, members of the public, I would like to open my report with a moment of silent reflection. There are many challenges facing our state at the moment. From the aftermath of the shooting in Thousand Oaks that affected students at so many of our local colleges and universities, including Moore Park College and Ventura College, to the wildfires that have struck communities up and down the state, devastating communities around Butte College, where I was informed that 300 faculty, staff, and students have lost their homes, and other institutions of higher learning. These tragedies demonstrate the importance of our work in building inclusive, resilient communities that help each other in times of need. As we reflect in silence, I will keep in mind the strength that we all give to those who need it most. Thank you. As the fall term winds down and we approach finals, our campus is beginning to heat up with activity. Yesterday and tomorrow, the plazas around the main campus core were thrumming with students showing off their research presentations related to this year's One Book, One College selection, Little Nation and Other Stories by Alejandro Morales. This Pathways research presentation is one of my favorite annual events because in seeing students share their research all over campus, you get a sense of the scale of what we do. It is a very impressive sight. I had the chance to talk with several of the students who are making presentations, and I can tell you that those are first-year students in the first semester of the college, and I was really impressed by the depth and the quality of the research that they did. This tells us that we have a faculty that has the best interest of students at work. And I want to take this moment to thank our faculty for how they are working with our students to ensure that they are well prepared. For the first time this year, you can see a second iteration of this activity tomorrow, November 15th at noon. So I would encourage members of the board, if you are available tomorrow between 12 and 1, please stop by the college and take a look at the presentations and challenge the students and ask them questions about the type of research that they did. Tonight, students and members of our community are filling Saxon Auditorium to hear Father Greg Boyle of Homeboy Industries talk about kinship in practice. This event, which has come about because of the involvement of a group of formerly incarcerated students, brings a nationally renowned speaker to address our students and give them a perspective on the change they can make in their communities and the world. We are very excited to have Father Boyle joining us tonight. As the season of giving approaches, our community will have two opportunities to help our Lancer Pantry in its mission. This week, from 11 a.m. Saturday, November 17th, through 11 a.m. Sunday, November 18th, the Million Meals Marathon will be collecting donations of canned goods in Lot 1. Please stop by at any point during that 24-hour period and donate your food items. And on Giving Tuesday, November 27th, which is the Tuesday following Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday, our PCC Foundation will be collecting donations all day long to help support the operations of our Lancer Pantry. We hope that everyone will do their part to support our students who need this kind of help the most. I would also like to give you tonight a brief update on the work of the Small Business Development Center, which, as you know, has been serving our community through its offices at the Community Education Center for nearly 5 years now. In October, the Sbdc launched its third cohort of Pcc Venture Launch. This mini-course gives PCC student teams of entrepreneurs the chance to build and test business models for their startups using lean launch methodologies. Venture Launch is free for PCC student entrepreneurs, and students have full access to mentors and advisors throughout the process. The mentors and advisors at Sbdc are one of its key assets. The advisors are also supporting the second gig economy cohort this year with lectures and one-on-one mentoring for the students. The cosmetology division is receiving mentoring for seniors who will be starting their own business upon completion of their program. And this model will be replicated in other divisions of the college later this year. And thirdly, Sbdc is supporting the Entrepreneurship Club on campus. Members are participating in Venture Launch, and they are making plans for an investor pitch competition in the spring. Sbdc's continued partnerships with industry leaders like Google will bring workshops and other resources to campus and continue fostering an environment of entrepreneurship. Since 2014, some milestones from Sbdc that perhaps are worth mentioning: we have served 2,500 clients, 2,400 jobs have been supported, 150 business starts, and over $34 million in capital infusion to the San Gabriel Valley area. So I think this is a feat worth mentioning. Lastly, here is another video showcasing our career education programs. This month's installment features a side of nursing that you might not normally see, but one in which our students are definitely excited to serve. But before you get to see that, I'd like to give you a quote from Voltaire. Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do. Enjoy the video.
I work in events, and I work at most of the large raves in Southern California and Las Vegas and occasionally Northern California. We have medical tents there, and I work in there, and sometimes I'm the charge nurse while I'm there.
We are one of the oldest nursing programs in California. Our grads are out there getting their BSNs, working on the surgical floors, emergency departments, labor and delivery, mental health.
The teachers were very good. The other students were a lot of fun to work with, and I learned a lot while I was here. They give you a question, and 4 or 5 of the answers are all right, but which one's the most right? And so they really teach you critical thinking and how to get to the appropriate answer when there's so many different varieties offered to you.
Our pass rate was 97%, which is very high. So if you can come to PCC Nursing and do well, you will pass your NCLEX exam. The starting salary for a new grad RN, that means fresh out of school, is approximately $60,000 a year. For a working experienced nurse, approximately $80,000 to $100,000 a year. With higher education, such as a DNP in nursing or a PhD, $125,000 to $150,000 a year and up.
So I've kind of gone against the typical pathway to get where I'm at, but just kind of learning and floating really well on my feet and figuring it out pretty quickly has been good for me.
Well, this concludes my report. At the next board meeting, we will have a presentation on the veterans at Pasadena City College.
Thank you, Dr. Verdian. We're now going to move to agenda item J. Oh, pardon me, Trustee Wah.
Thank you. So Dr. Verdian, this is a wonderful presentation, and I think nursing has been very well regarded throughout our communities. I actually was at a community event, and it was one of the tables was being staffed by 2 of our nursing students. I think it was the Vital Voices, Lena Kennedy's event. And they spoke very highly of the program. But I was wondering, do we have the data on how many of those students from our program actually either go on to get a job? What's the time, and then how many of them go into 4-year programs, and what that career outlook is for them, that career outcome is?
I will make sure we provide this information to the board before the next board meeting. Dr. Juni, you will work with Dr. Freund? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to Agenda Item J, announcements, and we'll start with announcements by shared governance, and we'll start with associated students. Mr. Kim.
Hi. So our associated student had a CDC trick or treat event, which is giving out free snacks to child development center children, and also we did an event about Dia de Muertos. I don't know if I pronounce it right. We did an event about that. That was about the cultural diversity event. And also our associated students are going to send a letter of condolence to Moore Park College about the victims, about the name Noel Spark, 21 years old woman. Also, we are going to gather money and donate money to the Butte College who had a damage of campfire. So, because they lost their homes, they lost their laptops or textbook because of the campfire. So, yeah, we are planning to donate and send a letter to them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Classified Senate.
Oh, Maria Bustamante.
Thank you, Maria.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and attendees. Felicia sends her regrets again today. She will be here next month, though. Okay, I have a few. First and foremost, I would like to thank all who attended our Fall General Meeting Halloween contest. It was well received by our PCC family. In addition, we would like to thank all the judges. Dr. Oliva was there, Crystal Colrose was there, Rob Lee, Armando Duran, Pat Krause. It was we enjoyed it very much. Everybody enjoyed it. I do also have a few words from our Senate President, Denise Albright, on what we are working on this fall term. We are redesigning our new Senate lapel pin that we're redesigning, and also it's a contest for whoever sends in the lapel pin that we will select at the end. We're also creating a cookbook that will be sold on our website, PCC website, to assist, of course, the efforts here at PCC. We're also auctioning various renowned artwork from various renowned artists from the local community as well as alumni. And also, I'd like to reiterate what Dr. Verdian said earlier about our supporting our Lancer Pantry, in addition to the our sixth annual Million Meal Marathon Pet and Food Drive. If we all help a little bit, we get a little closer to assisting those in need. Hope to see you all there on Saturday. I will plan to attend as well for our $1 Million Food Marathon. Happy holidays, and I will not see you here next month.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Management Association, Tito.
Yes, sir. I will keep mine short this time. No, actually, it's already been said a couple of times, but I did want to highlight that our dean, Barbara Freund, is one of the leads as far as the Million Meals March, and I just want to make sure I highlight that's one of our highlights for our management team, again, doing things outside of their actual responsibilities by helping support our college as a whole. And then two personal things, just thank you all the Board of Trustees who actually attended our Veterans Day ceremony last week. Very happy to see some of you there, as well as for those of you who did, I saw Trustee Brown on yesterday at our Pathways Poster Conference. So thank you for coming out, and as Dr. Verdian said, anybody, not just trustee, but anybody in the audience who can come out and, again, ask our students questions, please come on down. We always need extra judges as well. And that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tito, and thank you again for your service. Academic Senate, Lenora.
Veronica Jaramillo. I'm here representing Lenora.
Welcome.
She sent some words. We are pleased with the progress of the presidential hiring process so far and thank the board for its work to help create a more inclusive procedure. The faculty look forward to meeting the finalists at the forums at the end of the month. The State Academic Senate held its fall plenary in early November and passed over 20 resolutions. Of particular interest is a resolution for the State Academic Senate to work with the Chancellor's Office to revise the current full-time faculty obligation number formula so that non-credit faculty can be included in the FON. We hope that the Chancellor's Office is willing to work with the State Academic Senate on this issue, as a new FON formula that includes non-credit faculty would benefit PCC financially and enable us to augment our current ranks of non-credit full-time faculty. Lastly, many thanks to Crystal Colveros for coordinating the ACC-JC Institutional Self-Evaluation Report Training on Friday, November 9th. Representatives from across the campus attended the training as a kickoff to the ICER season. The Accreditation Standing Committee has a finalized timeline for the entire ICER process, and writing groups are being formed now and in the spring. Thank you.
Thank you. And now for trustee reports, and we'll start on my far left with our student trustee.
Let me lower this. Okay. Hello, everybody. So students have come together to donate to the GoFundMe page for Butte College, as well as writing a letter to Moore Park College associated students, as they have lost the life of one of their students, Nicole Sparks, in the Thousand Oaks shooting. Next Tuesday and Monday, there will be an event highlighting transfer called What's the T on Transfer? This helping with transferring for the undocumented students as well. Also, Pasadena City College is #1 out of the community colleges in voting registration, so big round of applause for that one. Lastly, I just wanted to touch briefly on AB 705, and it is meant to help students complete transfer, and that's a wonderful thing. However, not having a support system in place for students, for moving students from basic skills to college level skills is something that is becoming prominent in our community, and I see it firsthand as a tutor and want to have a clear resource for students to be able to see how AB 705 affects them. And that's my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Z-Red. Trustee Chen Lao.
It was my pleasure to welcome Sequoia School kids to PCC to visit the food pantry. These kids were 9th and 10th graders, and it was part of their social innovation class. And I like to thank Associate Dean Kut Mami for coordinating this. And the Sequoia School is a progressive school in the west part of Pasadena, and it was a real pleasure to connect these students to PCC.
Thank you. Trustee Brown.
Yeah, well, I did. Yesterday, I took the time out to attend the Pathway program, and I must tell you, I was just so impressed. I probably spoke with maybe about 6 or 7 students, and I'm telling you, these students were charged. They were so proud of the work that they have done. They talked about their research like a professional. I mean, they had everything down to a science. Kids were very, very excited. I want to applaud the person who put this in place, because for you to be in school and be so energetic as to doing a research and talking about your hypothesis and what you learn and your conclusion, I asked one of them, I said, well, I think one in particular was talking about, well, eminent domain was pretty off the hook. The kids were like really firm on that. So I said, well, eminent domain, sometimes, don't you think that sometimes it's necessary? They had a strong voice on that. Then we had, I mean, there were so many topics. The topics were so good. If you have time, you need to go down there and just check them out, and you will be very proud of the work that the students are doing. And of course, they couldn't have done it if they were not coached to do it right. So, excellent work.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. And on my right, Trustee Wah.
Well, first of all, I want to thank my fellow trustees, Trustee Hilsman and Osterling, for serving as the delegates at the ACCT, the voting delegates. So we were able to re-elect 4 California trustees to the national boards. Trustee Chen Haggerty is heading up diversity and inclusion. Trustee Meredith Brown will be the president-elect for that committee. And then Trustee John Leal, and I think, let's see, who was the 4th trustee? Oh, Trustee Bernie Reinerson got in as the director. So thank you very much. I know that was
You're welcome. We know how to pull the straight California lever.
That's right. That's right. You did a good job.
We do what we're told.
So you know that tomorrow is the start of the CCLC conference, the annual conference for the trustees and the CEOs. We have two really exciting things I really hope you will all come to attend. One will be the College Opportunity Town Hall, which will happen on Friday night, and then just immediately following that will be the Joint Caucuses Town Hall. I was at the Board of Governors yesterday, and the Chancellor's Office gave the report to the BOG on the data disaggregation, and so the Joint Caucus Town Hall on Friday night will be focused around the data disaggregation. Lots of support. I really want to thank the academic senates who came out to speak in favor of this. The State Academic Senate was out there, a number of the colleges, and then a number of other faculty from the, and community members came to speak yesterday in Sacramento. So that's going to be a huge focus. It's been a long time in coming. I also sent two links out to the trustees. I hope you all take a look at them. One is on the new dashboard for the metrics. So we are able to see our own college as well as other colleges in the system. And the other is on the funding formula. So these are new, improved, and much more user-friendly than the past. But I think this will give you good information. At the Board of Governors, there were two items that come to mind that I think you should know about. So I'm glad Academic Senate talked about the FON. The FON was, there was a lot of discussion about this at the BOG. I think this is a great opportunity for us to be involved. Unfortunately, there were no CEOs there to give testimony, and so I think that there is an opportunity for us to make these changes to the FON. The Chancellor's Office is very open to this. I think that we need more input. Tomorrow we'll be having a joint meeting with the CEOs and the trustees at Rancho Mirage, and it is one of the things I will be asking President Martinez, as the president of the CEOs, to bring together a good diverse group of CEOs to really get to look at the fund. But it is something I think that all of us as trustees should work with our CEOs and see how we can help influence and change that. And I know Academic Senate is going to be working on this too. So I think the other one that was a lot of discussion, and so I'm glad Trustee Rad brought this up, was on AB 705. And I think some of the most compelling information that was given in testimony yesterday came from the students. And they talked about how important this particular bill was to them, and how they hoped that the system, the Chancellor's Office, would really work with the rest of the system to really make this happen, because this is something the students need and want. There does seem to be some views from faculty that maybe this isn't the right way to go, but I think so far what we've heard from many of the faculty that I heard yesterday at the BOG, as well as students, is that this is something that has been greatly needed and can make a big difference. So I don't know, Trustee Rad, if you have anything additional to add on that.
I think I just mainly stated it in my report, but like I see where you're coming from, where the students are coming from, because I do see that a lot, because I do interact with DSPS, and even in the Pathway Center where I tutor, I notice these changes, and we need to make more of an improvement. And especially getting that word out to students on what AB 705 even is and how it'll affect them is really necessary and important.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Waugh. Trustee Martin.
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Hilsman.
Yes, well, I want to report with sadness the passing of one of our very valued members of our community, John Gregory. John passed away this week after a long battle with leukemia, and he'd had a long and successful career in media and public relations. He was a veteran, served in Vietnam. He was a press liaison officer between the White House and the Pentagon. He received 2 local Emmys for his work with local public television stations. But probably most importantly to us, he was the president of our Pasadena City College Foundation. and he really set the bar high and I think transformed a lot of the work of the foundation, which culminated this year in a very successful capital campaign of $10 million plus. John really had a vision, and he was dedicated to our students and wanted to make sure that everything that the foundation did would directly impact our students and benefit them. And I know that he will remember him fondly. And as we go forward in the foundation, addressing issues of affordability and food dependency, housing issues, all these things. John really set the standard high for what the foundation is going to be doing in the future. I valued him very much, and he was a very easy person to know, and very approachable, friendly, and generous. So if I could just take a moment of silence to remember him and also to adjourn the meeting in John's honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hilsman. And we will be adjourning the meeting in Mr. Gregory's honor. Last Friday, I did attend the Veterans Day observation. And quite frankly, this year, the celebration was muted. We turned out that we just learned about the shooting that had happened the night before, and it was incredibly unfortunate that it was college night at that particular bar at that time, and so our college students were in harm's way and impacted. And it was terribly sobering to find out that the perpetrator of the shooting was a military veteran who had mental health issues apparently that went unrecognized and or untreated. And I bring this up for a reason. After the celebration of Veterans Day, Patty Dorange Martin took me on a tour of our brand new VRC, Veterans Resource Center, that everybody worked so hard to get in place, and that hard work has been rewarded. It was really nice to see the new Veterans Resource Center. It still had a new paint smell and a new carpet smell, but the thing that I was most impressed and most pleased with is because of the additional space there, our administration has embedded the admission process for student veterans right in the Veterans Resource Center. Why is that important? Is because that assures that all of our student veterans will have at least one opportunity to come in contact with the Veterans Resource Center and the wonderful people that staff that. And I want to thank our administration for making that possible. And I also want to encourage us to find additional ways that we can have our student veterans come in contact with the Veterans Resource Center and our veterans the resources available to them. Because as we know, many times veterans don't want to necessarily admit that they need help, and this will encourage them to come in contact and take advantage. So again, thank you for everybody's efforts that it took to make that come to reality, and now we'll start to see the benefits of that. And I want to conclude my remarks tonight by everybody here in this room is aware that we have 3 outstanding finalists for our new superintendent president at PCC. And it really was a participatory process. The faculty, students, administration, and community members all participated in that process and brought us 5 outstanding semifinalists. So we had a difficult choice to narrow that down to the 3 finalists. And information will be coming out about, it has already been announced about the on-campus forums that will be held the 27th, 28th, and 29th for each one of those finalists. And that concludes my remarks. Next, we're going to go to item number 2, proposed future board business meeting dates. Are there any changes to the calendar, Dr. Verdia?
No, the next board meeting is on December 12th, and then January 1 is on the 16th.
Okay, thank you. And any proposed future agenda items? Okay, so that concludes the agenda items. And once again, we will adjourn this meeting in remembrance of our past PCC Foundation President, John Gregory.
Thank you.
Thank you.